Hi, it's Melanie Benson here, the Big Idea Catalyst and host of New Era Success TV. And we're getting into the holidays, and it's an exciting time for a lot of people, especially our little kids, as they're thinking about all the great things that they're going to be able to get from Santa or whoever their their provider of goodies are. But I've noticed that the conversations I'm having with people over the last few weeks are getting into a lot of the fears about money, and they get really heightened at the end of a year when we're coming up in the holidays and people are starting to take stock of what's happened. They're looking at their credit cards and saying, okay, how am I going to pay for Christmas or Hanukkah or whatever celebration they have? And more importantly, they're looking at what did they accomplish this year. And as a newer entrepreneur, one of the things that I believe in is having a strong foundation to leap. When your finances are shaky, or worse yet, you have massive financial despair, it can be really overwhelming. As a matter of fact, I have conversations, at least 10 a week, with entrepreneurs and even colleagues who are saying, I'm really scared right now. And it's one or two conversations. It's, I'm watching what's happening, and I'm scared to death that my business is going to blow up because things are slowing down. Or even worse, the conversation is, Melanie, I hit a wall and I can't recover. I have so much debt. As a matter of fact, I did a survey and over half of the people in the survey said, I'm in massive debt because I've spent so much money on coaching programs and products that are not working for me. Well, this is just unacceptable. If you're going to succeed, you can't stay stuck here. And, when you're in fear from overspending, or you're looking at your bank account and you're realizing it's dwindling, or you've put aside a nest egg and nothing's coming out, you got to check in and you got to ask yourself, what do I have to be willing to do differently to change this situation? Here's the first thing. First of all, an entrepreneur cannot be creative and thrive when they're worried all the time if they're going to have enough money to get to the next level. What we do is we start making desperate decisions. We focus on, how do I get money in the door, instead of what do I need to do to serve the people that I serve, or what do I need to do to be strategic to achieve my big vision. When I did the Big Idea Incubator, as powerful as that program is, what I learned was that because so many people are in fear and feel trapped and paralyzed and they're not able to take action, all the best information in the world means nothing if they don't have the financial resources to implement. So I want to share with you today a quick financial turnaround strategy. Now, I am seriously considering putting a program together, and in the short term, I'm putting together a very small group of people who want to work with me privately, one-on-one, in a very short, quick burst to get their finances turned around. I've been working with all my clients to get them to turn around. And I'm going to give you a quick summary of some steps you can take now. But if this isn't enough or you need more, I'm going to highly encourage you to go to the website below and schedule a session with me and find out if I can help you, or even if you're willing to turn this around, because you've got to be willing. But let's get into what needs to happen. First of all, when you are in a really challenging financial situation and your fear is at an all-time height and you're feeling paralyzed, it's very difficult to get out of your own way. You tend to see only the traps, you see only the problems, and you see only the frustration and things that you can't do. And I know that because I've been there. When I was at the height of my financial despair, I couldn't see any new possibilities. I was getting depressed. I was stuck. Everything I was trying to do was not working because I was having short-term, fear-based decisions that I was making. And so if you're in that place where you're feeling paralyzed or fearful, you've got to infuse new energy. You've got to get yourself out of thinking the way you've been thinking. So here's what I suggest. First of all, you've got to get yourself to a neutral place. Now, neutral means that you're not in fear, but it doesn't necessarily mean you've solved all the problems yet. And I think that's what people think is like, oh my gosh, I've got to get back to all of this, making $10,000, $20,000, $50,000 a month, or even enough to pay my bills, instead of thinking, how do I just get to a place where I'm neutralized? I'm not in panic, but maybe it's not all fixed yet. Here's why that's important. When you're at neutral, you can see, imagine like being in a really dark hole, and all you can see are the sides of the hole, and you're feeling like you're shrinking and you're getting smaller and smaller and smaller, and the world is more fearful. Well, all you're going to see is the problems. All you're going to see is, how do I get out of this hole? And that's what it's like when you're in debt or you're in big financial fear. So we have to stop that before you can think constructively and powerfully about how to turn your business around, how to turn your life around, how to get back to all the good things that you deserve and that I know are here for you. Because the truth is, abundance is all around us. We're either in the flow or we're out of the flow. And so the first thing you have to do, and please don't yell at me, but this is true, and I've seen it happen over and over and over again. I know it's works for me, and I know that the clients that I work with that actually do this are the ones that have the fastest results. So please be willing to be open to doing this, and that is, you have to get control of your mindset. Your mind is your greatest strength or your greatest weakness. And if you are running around all day long in fear, thinking about your problems, panicking because you don't have enough, worrying about what to do, all you're going to do is energetically pull in more debt, financial fear, and more problems. Again, I've proven this one. I know this one. I've done it. And I've done it both ways. So the first thing we have to do is we have to shift how you are thinking about the finances. So there's a lot of different ways to do it, and depending on who you are and what's going on, I can help customize this a little bit. But let's just say right now that you want to, every day, imagine yourself experiencing either the neutral, like get yourself to a place where you can get your head around it, like I'm not in debt or I'm not in fear anymore, and I've got a plan and I'm okay. That might be enough for right now. Or I'm extraordinary wealth. I have abundance all around me. The thing is, you can't just tell yourself this. You have to feel it. The number one difference between affirmations and people that get results with them and people who don't are, if you can't really feel this being true for you, it will not work for you. If you can't feel the vibration of I'm wealthy and I'm successful, then this will just feel like bullshit crap. Sorry. You know the word I'm saying. It'll feel like it's not what you really are. And your brain will say this isn't true, and it will reject it. So the first thing you have to do is you have to get control of your mind. You have to tell yourself what you do want. And no, this is not woo-woo bull. This is real. This does work. The difference is you can't just tell yourself this and stop. You have to put the other two pieces behind it. Now, the second piece that we've got to get out there is you've got to get practical. If you don't have money coming in and you're sitting there meditating on how to have a big bag of money drop on your lap, or how to attract all the right clients, or how to get whatever it is that you're manifesting in place, and you're not in action, and you're not doing something to turn it around right now, you are just in denial. And that river is going to flow really deep, and it's going to frustrate you even more. So all the best law of attraction principles in the world are not going to work if you are not being practical. And here's what I mean by practical. If you can't pay your rent this month, then get off your butt and do something. You cannot just get in fear and stay there. Now, I love you. I believe in you. And I'm talking from a place of truth, because I've done this too. Like, if you're just waiting for things to work out, and you're waiting for the universe to deliver some answer, and you can't pay your bills this month, we have to do something different right now. You may need to go get a job. You may need to be willing to do some things that you don't want to do for money. There's a client that I've been working with over the last few years, on and off, and she has been really resistant to doing something that people want, but she's burned out on. She's really, really good at some powerful partnering stuff. But she doesn't want to do it because it's not her love. It's not her passion. It burns her out. It's a lot of work. But I'm like, if you can't pay your bills this month, I think you need to be willing to say, yes, I will do this, and then build these other things around it. So I want you to get practical. Okay, first is get control of your mindset. And you're going to start telling yourself that you are wealthy, you are successful, or you do have a plan, or things are better. I want you to run around and collect evidence for all the things that are good in your life. This works very well. Second, I want you to get practical. You need a plan of action to turn things around right now. Not tomorrow, not waiting for the universe to deliver something, not hoping and praying that that big project is going to pay off. No, if you can't pay your bills this month, get into action and get something practical in place. Then you need to stay focused. Okay, so step number 3 is you need a focused plan of action to not just get out of the financial debt, but to create better money strategies in your life. One of the things that I work with all my clients on is a strategy. Now, if you're in debt, we got to get you out of debt. But just as a really practical bottom line strategy is you've got to have a relationship with money every day. Now, that means you have to know what's coming in. You have to know what's going out. You have to have a strategy, a technique for filtering out what's a good decision and what's not a good decision. You can't just throw money at a problem. You can't just throw money into a coaching program or a self-study tool. As much as I'd like for you to buy all my stuff, and so would everyone else, that's not the solution. I want to help you find the right solution. I want you to have the right program. I want you to work the program. You can't just put money into it and not work it. You can't join 10 programs and hope one of them will work. I'm sorry, it's not happening. I've been seeing this trend of just jumping into all these options. I have a client who he jumps around from one coach to another coach to another coach, hoping that one of them will trigger the right concept. The truth is he's not putting the things into action that any of his coaches are telling him. If you're not doing that, it's not going to work. I want you to get into focused right action. Okay, and if it's me or someone else, I don't care who you work with, but get someone to help you align a strategic plan to get your big idea, to get your dream, to get your magic and the work that you do in the world out in a way that will make money consistently, sustainably, and so that you are constantly doing what you're supposed to do on this planet and making money from it. Now, that's a much bigger subject. And there's a lot of tools out there to help you with this. But the bottom line, step number 3 is you've got to be consistently in right action. You've got to focus on doing the things that work. And when you are turning your business around, honestly, it's not the time to experiment. It's the time to do what you know will work while you are seeding and figuring out the rest of it. I'd love to say that you can pop into your genius and make $1 million this year. Well, maybe, but are you willing to take that risk, or do you just need to get practical and turn things around? So in my world, in the world that I'm creating, as I look at all the things that are failing around us, as I look at what the message of Occupy Wall Street was, and I look at the message that's coming through the survey that so many of my community took and gave me great answers on, what you've been doing is not working. We have to get you into a whole new paradigm of how you're creating success. You got to get control of your mindset, you got to get practical, and you got to get into right action. You need a money system, and you need it now. This is Melanie Benson with the Big Idea Catalyst, Success Connections, and your host here at New Era Success TV. And as we move into the holiday season this year, my holiday wish for you is that you feel supported, that you feel believed in, and most importantly, that you step into a plan to get back into neutral, or even better, massive success.